Welcome back to Growing Up Grieving, where grief is complicated, humor is necessary, and speaking your griefy truth is always encouraged. I'm your host, Cait Meduno, and I'm joined by my co-host, Alyssa Shepard.
Hello,
Say hi,
hello.
Alyssa. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. We are back for our second episode together, and we're so excited. We've been in the background kind of talking to some different guests and securing spots and doing all that happy jazz. I feel like I have been running on fumes, Alyssa. I have been.
You've been busy.
Running on fumes.
You've been busy.
Yeah. I was just traveling. With my family. It's the end of the school year, but my youngest had a gymnastics competition. We went down to Virginia Beach, and that was cool. That was something different. We've never done that before.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we get back, it's like bing, bang, boom. The kid's back in school. I had a fundraiser. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is. And you met somebody down in Virginia Beach too, didn't you?
Did. Isn't that the craziest thing?
It is.
Yeah, everybody, shout out to Sahara from Virginia Beach. She is a badass. I met her down there. You guys wouldn't believe this. I still don't even believe this. We were out to dinner in our hotel, and there was a waitress, and she was a spunky girl, and she had this cool hair. Some of it was pink and some was green, and my girls are like, wow, your hair's so cool. And we got to talking, and she was really neat. And she's like, yeah, let me follow you. And she goes, oh my God. And she turned her phone around, I swear to God. And she's like, I'm already following you. I didn't realize.
Growing Up Grieving. She's following Growing Up Grieving.
Yeah. And I was
think
like, what?
That's so amazing.
Like, what? How is that even real? It was really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, she's a great person. We got to hang out with her the rest of I have her number. I just texting her yesterday. She's awesome. It was a really cool experience to see kind of how the voices really do go wherever, right? I have no idea who's listening to this. You have no idea who's listening to this.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting to meet somebody, and like I said, she's great. So very cool. It was a really cool experience.
That is a really cool experience. And it feels good to know, you've put so much time, and so much of yourself into that first season, and now we're doing the second season, and people are listening, and you're connecting, and that's what it's all about.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So it's really cool to see that it's happening. It's happening. But things are also happening, like with your hair. Alyssa's hair is gone.
We cut off our hair, people. Yeah, we cut the hair. We needed a change. Sometimes cutting off hair, I think, is therapeutic. So, but yeah, feeling good.
It looks awesome.
Thank you.
You look amazing. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
And yes, you look just like your mother.
That's the first thing one of our cousins said when they saw me. She was looking at me for a little bit longer than people look at you when you first see them. And she looked at me and she said, God, you look like your mother with that haircut.
You do. And I feel like there's a series of photos of your mom with that hairstyle back in the day where, twinsies.
Twinsies, I know. Clones. I'm her clone. Yeah, it gave me a little warm feeling in my heart right there when she said that, when anybody ever says it.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I look like my dad.
He was a handsome guy. He was a handsome guy.
He used to be. Oh my God. It's so funny to even think that. I'm looking at the picture of him in the background. But yes, you're beautiful, Alyssa.
Oh, thank you, my girl.
What has been going on with you, though? Obviously, you cut your hair.
Yep, we cut our hair.
Anything else fun going on?
Nothing too crazy. We did a fishing trip with my dad last weekend. Well, two dads. Jeff's father as well, my husband, and then one of my stepbrothers too. So that was good.
That's cool.
Just being present, trying to spend time with my people.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love your dad.
I know, Uncle Art.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
He
That's
is
amazing.
He is.
So, in today's show, we have a lot to talk about. Well, I guess I have a lot to talk about, don't I, Alyssa?
Yes. Yes.
Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a flip the script on me today, and well, this was Alyssa's idea. Alyssa, do you want to talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that idea?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, last episode, we got into kind of my grief story, and Cait and I were talking about ideas for the season. And I just thought that it would be really important for all of our newer viewers for us to kind of get into your story. I know season one, you definitely went through it all, but from a different perspective with someone kind of asking you questions as well, and getting into, your story, your grief
Yeah,
story. We're
it's
flipping
funny
the
because
script.
we are, and when you had said that to me, I was like, oh yeah, like first season was a lot about my feelings on different things, but I haven't been directly asked like certain
Questions.
things, I guess, you know? Yes, I'm usually the one who's yip yapping and asking people all the things. So, yeah, it's different, but it'll be fun. Um, before we get to that, we are going to have to hear from our sponsor, amazing sponsor, and we also are going to have to do the listener feedback section. Um, so let me do the listener feedback, and then we can go into the commercial. So there's a few things that I want to talk about for listener feedback, but the first one, I think it makes sense to talk about our cardinal mascot, Alyssa.
Yes, we named our cardinal. We're
We
very
did.
excited. He's so cute.
He is
Cait.
so cute. We have a new logo, everybody, and we have a little cardinal that we've decided is our mascot. And so, in this section is kind of us interacting with you, and we took your feedback. We took it. We did a live, and we chose some names. We had some really awesome names that were provided and kind of submitted by our listeners. And this is mostly on Instagram, guys, but it was also on Facebook. But just FYI, if you're looking to interact. And we did a live, and we decided that we named our little cardinal Remy, and short for remembrance, and I just love it.
Yep, I
It's
love it
amazing.
too. It was very
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. And Tandy, who was the one who submitted that, she has this huge significance with cardinals. She was writing about after, and I know that it just kind of meant something to her too, and I just love that. I just like obsessed.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of some things that we're going to be doing on the show, guys. So these are different ways that you can interact with us. All right, so I did get a question directly for you, Miss Alyssa, and this was from Blink Skincare and Lash Studio, which is located where?
In Newburyport,
In Newburyport.
Massachusetts. Yep,
Unofficial ad,
I know.
everyone. Um, and they asked, how do you always keep such a positive attitude and genuine smile?
Oh.
So
Um,
give us the
yeah.
deets.
Yeah. Um, So grief was really hard for me the past 2.5 years with my mom. It was really hard because I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. I'm definitely a positive, like let's find the light, in the dark days. Like let's talk about the glass half full. I always have a smile on my face. So really being you know, in grief over these past couple of years, I have felt very uncomfortable in my own skin. And, you know, I think the best way to kind of start to come out of that is number one, like prioritize yourself, which will probably be a huge theme for me because I did so much self care over these past couple of years. And, I just think that's so important. And then also, I think another thing is like life is so beautiful. We go through these hard things, whether it be grief or, setbacks financially or career wise. And I I do think it makes you stronger. It makes you more resilient. And, people always talk about kind of before grief and after grief. You're not going to be the same person that you were. but you are going to become a stronger version of yourself if you do the work and you put in the time and you take care of yourself, So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
positivity. We're trying to be positive, and it's not always easy. It's not always easy to smile when that's not how you feel inside, and that's okay too. It's acknowledging all those feelings, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. I guess it becomes a choice at some point,
It
doesn't it?
does. It does. You have
I'm
to
like,
choose to
no, I
heal.
I will enjoy this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good stuff and wonderful insight as always. Um, we are going to hear a quick word from our sponsor, guys. So just take a quick second. When it comes to your home, you want a contractor that you can actually trust. And that's why people choose Sensible Home Solutions. Customer Dan says in his review, I'm so glad Sensible came to the rescue, on time, done right, no surprises on the invoice, a truly great professional company. Nick writes, I got 3 quotes, and I'm so glad I went with Sensible. Will is the real deal, fair pricing, quality work, no upselling, just straight answers. And Patrick says, from inspection to cleanup, the process was smooth and stress-free. They deliver honest service with attention to detail and clear communication. Sensible Home Solutions has only 5-star reviews and specializes in roofing, siding, windows, and doors with electrical and HVAC services. So if you're in Massachusetts or New Hampshire, go to sensiblehome.com or call 978-945-9944. Your home, our duty. Designed with integrity, powered by service, the Sensible Solution. All right. And again, if you would like to sponsor the show, hey, reach out. We can make something happen. All right. We could even do like some reels or whatever. We're a very creative bunch. Okay. So if you want to get in touch with us, info@growingupgrieving.com. Okay. Well, I guess we're flipping the script now.
We're flipping the script, Cait. We're flipping the
God, why am
script.
I nervous?
I don't know. I was so nervous. Yeah, so Cait,
nervous.
my lovely, beautiful cousin.
Hello.
Hello. Do you want to get into your grief story and tell us a little bit about when you started grieving?
Yeah. Yeah. If you've ever been on the website or if you've, been on Instagram, like I kind of have a history of events, you could say, for different illnesses and things in my family. And I would say that my grief story is my life story. So it's like, how much time do you have? No, but I won't go that granular. I think it's still being written, my grief story. But I do think that there was such a huge emphasis on grief ever since I was born. And as a child, I had an uncle who passed away when I was 4, and I realized later that that was like the first memory that I can remember was of a death. And then we lost our grandparents, you and I. I was 7 at the time, and they died a month apart. I just remember my mom grieving. I just remember her being so sad and everything by that. It really affected her. And similar to you, like I feel like her grief went on to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even asking for it. But mostly, it's not a secret at all that I grew up grieving the inevitable death of my mother. She was just always sick. She was sick when she was pregnant with me. Basically, just a little bit about her. She had a bunch of kidney illnesses, and she had 2 kidney transplants over her lifetime. But really, after like my 2 oldest sisters were born, she had her tubes tied because it was recommended, like, okay, like this just putting more strain on your body and everything. And she did that. And then 4 years later, she got pregnant with me. My
A
parents
beautiful miracle.
Oh God. She called me her miracle baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny. I think that I will probably just lose my mind if I had my tubes tied and then 4 years later I was pregnant and be like, what? That did not work.
I know.
like what is going on? But if you think of it like that, so she was sick like that. I had to be born in Boston. All of my other family was born around here, more local. So I really can say I'm from Boston, even though
There
I
you
didn't grow
go.
up there. Yeah. But honestly, since I've been born, like that's just what I recall. And, it wasn't long before she died in 2017. I remember that I had a conversation with her. And it was when she told me that she wasn't eligible for a third kidney transplant. And I wanted to talk about it because it was like one of the only times I can ever remember her being like somber and being sad, because she was just always so goofy and
She
you
was.
know she was like, there's a part of her like there's like a little airheadish, I think I probably get that from her. um I don't know, she was just always so positive and loving and just
And fun.
hysterical.
She was
Yeah,
so fun.
you could
I
not have fun
remember
with her.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember always she was always
right,
so
right.
silly with you girls and, she had all her characters and you guys just always had so much fun.
Yeah, we did, and I'm really lucky that, you know, despite the all of her illnesses and everything, like, that she was that person still. And from what I, recall, like, she had lifelong friends, and everybody just said, like, she was just always that way. Like, she was just
Mhm.
always that way. Her illnesses didn't really affect her mindset on things. Um, but again, one of the last things I ever talked to her about was how she was telling me, like, I think must have called her, and she was just like in a mood. She's like, yeah, I just found out like I can't do it the third time. And it was because she was too sick. They're not gonna, and that's part of like the criteria whenever you have a transplant of any kind, right? Like, you have to be at a certain level of health yourself in order to receive a kidney and for it to like take and everything. And granted, she had done it twice before, um, which is amazing in itself. But yeah, I just remember that crushed her spirit. It was so hard for me to listen to. Um,
She was so resilient, I feel like,
yeah,
and she had overcome so much, and been through so much physically and mentally. So I can imagine that being heartbroken, hearing her say that because it's almost like you saw her defeated, you know?
yeah, yes, and I think it was around that time too. Actually, you just made me think of this. One of the last things I did with her too was to bring her to her dialysis appointment over in Methuen. I brought her once, and it was I brought her one time. One time.
You were young,
I No,
though.
well, no, but this was as an adult. This was, I don't know, like 8 years ago or whatever, like shortly before she passed. But I brought her there, and like we had to like wheel her in a wheelchair. And I remember like distinctly like looking down at the top of her head, and her hair was like thinning, and everybody in there. And there's no disrespect toward anybody on dialysis, but you can tell if somebody's on dialysis by the way that they look. There's
Yeah.
this different coloring of the skin. The skin is thin, the hair is different, like everybody. I looked around and it was like, oh my God. It was crazy. It was like an aha moment for me. I felt so like helpless in that moment because I was like the adult and like she was the child, you could say. I think
Sick.
that maybe she kind of shielded me from that, I think. Um and it's always been like an issue where I go back and I'm like, my God, like, could you have just told me a little bit so I wouldn't be so fragile?
Right.
you know?
And it's one thing to hear like, "Oh, yeah, mom's going to dialysis 3 times a week," or it's another thing, to walk in and bear witness to it, and I it's very impactful, I guess.
Yeah.
You're almost in denial, like, you're hearing this, you've been hearing it for years that her kidneys were failing, but going in and seeing it, those moments really make it real.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like the sounds, everything. And,
Smells.
I've kind of, yeah, and the smells. And I kind of have always been that way, like with hospitals. Again, growing up like that, my father, when it comes to him, he also passed away, and he was sickly as well, not as sick as her, or the same type of sickness, you could say. He had type 2 diabetes. He got that when I was a child. His brother had passed away due to, I believe it was a heart attack in relation to perhaps, something with his diabetes as well, and after my mom died, like, my dad finally went to the doctor after he was, like, an old man at this point and had never been to the doctor the
Yeah.
entire time. Like, when we went to the doctor, it was for my mom, or it was for my sister Rachel. She had, illnesses too, and, like, it was just never for him. When my mom finally did pass away, he decided to get his shit together and went to go take care of himself, and then he ended up having a stroke, having bladder cancer, and then he had esophageal cancer, and that's what he ultimately died of. Um, it's like the irony.
I
I don't
know.
know. You know, it's like you finally are like, all right, I'm ready to pay. Oh, and he had quit smoking too for the first time in, like, I think it was honestly like 60 years. My
Yeah.
father was such a smoker. It was horrible. I hated that. Cait, did you smoke some cigarettes? And I'm like, what? No. And it was because my house smelled like smoke. It's horrible.
Oh, Uncle
Thanks,
Dick.
Dad. Thank
I
you for that
know.
memory.
So I think a lot of your grief and the theme of this growing up grieving is a lot of anticipatory grief
Oh, yeah.
with your mom. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that and how,
Yeah.
what it was like um, with your mom being sick? And I remember you having a story about not wanting to go to school because you were worried about her,
Yeah.
and maybe how that affected you.
Yeah, for sure. Anticipatory grief is 1,000,000%. Is that my middle name?
The story of your life.
Cait,
It's
Cait
this.
Anticipatory Grief.
Yeah.
Majuno here. Yeah, I just was always afraid she was gonna die. Like, all the time. All the time. Like, she's dead now, and I'm like, is she gonna die?
I know.
Like, because that's how much it's in my DNA to be afraid of that. Um, after she died, I feel like I really tried to look back at that and actually, like, look at myself for the first time ever and see who I was. And um I had realized through therapy that, honest to God, like, my grief was like everything, all roads pointed here to grief. Like, for me dealing with that, the overlying theme of my life, just always being afraid, not didn't want to go to school. That happened. That so happened. I remember vividly, like a memory, being in my car right by the school, like my elementary school, and just sobbing and, like, having that panic. Like, if you have, like, that panic when you're a kid, you're like you could call it hysterical. I remember being
Yeah.
hysterical, like, no, like, if I leave right now and go to school, you're gonna die. Um, I'm good.
I know. Well, it's
It's so
hard. You
hard.
were so little, and I mean, you were in a constant state of like fight or flight. Like that is
Yeah,
so overwhelming for an adult to go through. But this is how you grew up. It's just constant worry and anxiety and stress, and
yeah.
you were worried about your mom.
Yeah, and, like, I really love my mom. There's I know people every day have conflicting relationships with their parents and things, or like, or perhaps, like, there's an abuser or situation, like, I didn't have that, thankfully. Like, I truly love her. Um, this is why people don't ask me questions, because I
I
just
know.
cry.
No, I
This is why
mean,
we haven't done this before. Um,
oh, I mean, she
but,
was
and it
amazing.
just hurts. Oh, thank you.
She was
Yeah.
amazing. She was an amazing woman. I was always so jealous that you guys had so much fun, and my mother was like a bit more mechanical than your mother. Is that a
And you
good
know
way
what's
to
funny?
describe it? She
I
was.
am always wrapping, like tearing my own self apart for my own mothering, because I'm, like, not as fun as her.
Ye-
Like, I'm just not. I'm such, like a worrier, and I'm like, I literally will have to be like, Caitlin, oh my God, have some goddamn fun. And it's funny because, like, I love having fun. If you watch the show, if you see us together, like, like, I'm a bubbly person as well, but there's this side to me which is just, like, absolutely terrified. And I would say that is, like, I don't know, like, the Caitlin of my childhood, I guess, that I just carry with me. Like,
Yeah, because
I
you.
don't want people to die. Can we
uh,
all stop dying,
I know.
please?
Can everyone stop dying? I
I
know.
vote no more deaths.
Yeah.
Hear ye.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a lot.
this was your life though. This is just so much for somebody to take on. And I mean, I think that they also didn't tell you everything, and that was probably really confusing because you didn't have all the information, and maybe you were too young for all of the information, and they thought that they were protecting you, but
Right.
also, that becomes confusing. I feel that way about Josh a lot, you know.
Yeah. I look back at that and I'm like, okay, well, what if I did have all the information? Like, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. And it's funny because it's such a gripe of mine
Mhm.
because I feel like I didn't know things. And, you and I were talking, and there's things that I found out about my dad in recent years, like nothing bad, but like, I'm just like, what the heck, man? Like, you were around, like, this has never been brought up, like, ever. Just little things I never knew. Um, and that stuff kind of pisses me off because I'm like, well, what the fuck? What was I missing? What have I
Right.
missed?
Right.
What have I missed because you haven't told me these things? And I also blame my parents a little bit, just for this kind of like situation I have going on because I'm always kind of conflicted. Um, I still have a hard time like with those emotions, and being like, okay, it's okay. Like I can do this. I'm an adult. Like I can handle this. Um, and I look at myself with my own children, and I'm like, oh my god, like my parents didn't have a clue either. Like what? Like why am I being so harsh on them? Like they didn't have a clue,
Right.
and they were just doing the best that they could, and I do know that. Um, I don't know.
I think that it's hard for us to, like, we have this picture of our parents, and there are, our mom and dad, and I think that we forget that they were also people as well. They
Yeah.
weren't just mom and dad, they were also had careers, and they had friends, and they, had their own struggles, and we kind of, I mean, it's something that I was at peace with as an adult, but of course I
Hmm.
didn't think about it growing up.
No. No. And I guess back to like the theme of the day, like my grief story, it's led me here to podcast. And I never thought that would happen ever. You know, once my mom died, and that was such a devastating loss for me. Um, my dad hurts too, 1,000,000%. But like my mom was like my mom. I don't know. It was just a different kind of loss. And my dad died 7 years after her, I believe. So, um, it was just different. Like my dad had changed his whole the way that he was. I feel like I got to learn more about my father once my mom had died, more than I had ever known him ever. And, my dad would go to parties and drop off my mom because she needed the social aspect, but he also needed a freaking break. He was her
Mhm.
caretaker for like decades, taking care of her and stuff like that. And so he was always on. He was always working. My mom had little jobs here and there, but like it just wasn't the same. Um, and so when my mom died, I feel like my dad was like reborn in a way, as cliche as that sounds, because he finally could like breathe. He didn't have to worry about her anymore.
Right.
Like of course it's devastating and horrible and sad, but he didn't have to worry and like, oh my god, like is my wife gonna like die in the middle of the night? Like, because I know he used to think that all the time. You just don't know what's gonna happen when somebody's sick like that, you know?
It
So he finally got
consumes
like a
you.
chance. He got to go to Canada. Yeah, yeah,
It
one million
consumes
percent.
you.
Um, it absolutely, and it did consume him for sure. Um, and so he finally just kind of like lived life a little bit when she passed. Like he paid off all the medical debts for the first time ever. He wasn't in debt, like he bought himself a car. He drove to Canada. He went to the Grand Canyon with my sister. Like he was so much more present. It was wonderful. It was really ugh. It's like a picture of him staring at me. And he's right there. You're everywhere. Ah!
I know, I see him behind you too.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Um, so yeah, it was really nice to see him like that, and I'm so grateful that I got to spend some time with him. But um, it just sucked because he died on Christmas Day.
I
And
know.
Christmas was like our favorite holiday. And I know people die every day and that sucks. But what the fuck, Christmas?
But your mom loved Christmas too, didn't
She
she?
loved Christmas. We all like loved Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, my dad, I remember he was saying, he's like, I just need to make it to Christmas. I just need, we're all like, why would you pick that day? Like, pick June, I don't know, New Year's Day or something, or I don't know, December 28th. Like, why
Come
did you
on,
have to
Uncle
wait till that
Dick.
day? Yeah, but he went on that day. I don't know. Um, so yeah, so leading up to that though, I've been doing the inner work, I'm going to therapy, and I'm like, all right, like grief is certainly like something I need to pay more attention to. And I finally had gotten to a point, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do growing up grieving. And dad, I remember talking to my dad about it. I'm like, Dad, do you want to come on the show? Like, I think you'd be a perfect first guest. Like, we can talk about mom, or we can talk about this or whatever. And he's like, yeah, definitely. And then shortly like after he said that, he was diagnosed with the esophageal cancer. And that was very quick. That was like just like a few months, and he had passed. So I couldn't obviously have a dead person on my show. It just wouldn't
Aw.
work. So I remember I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast, if you've ever listened to her at the time, and um she had an episode where she was talking about like a guest that she had on was just like, if you want to create something, like if you want to make something, a brand or whatever it is that you're looking to do, just make the Instagram account and just start posting. Like, because that's like the initial thing that you should start. And I truly did that. It was like January, I don't know, like 6th or something. And again, he had passed on December 25th. It was something like that. And I had started the Instagram account for Growing Up Grieving. And that was like my foot in the door to like making this actually a reality. So I highly encourage, if anybody like take Mel Robbins and that guy's advice for sure. It really did work.
Yeah.
Because I just started posting and I'm like, oh my God. And the more that I started to share, I realized that there's so many people who are in the same boat as me, and there's so many people who have felt like this horrible loss about their people. And we're all just trying to like share stories and just find community. And I honestly did. I never thought that this would ever be. I never grew up being like, I can't wait to be a podcast host, like, and talk about all my deep dark feelings for the whole world. That was never ever anything I had ever considered. But yeah, I don't know, we're here and we're meeting people, and
It's
it's just been
therapeutic.
a
It's
crazy wild ride. So therapeutic. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's therapeutic. And what you said, community, finding people, you're so lost in your grief and you feel so alone. And I think finding people who experience the same loss or emotions that you're feeling, I think that, you can kind of it's like a hand to hold, right? You feel like you're not as alone because all these people are almost like validating you. Or like if somebody posts like, "Oh, I was crying all day yesterday," you can also say like, "Hey, I was too." But here we are and it's the next day, and like now we're going to put one foot in front of the other. And sometimes if you're lucky, you have people that are close to you who have experienced loss to go through that with you. But there are other people who have grown up and their friends' parents haven't died yet, or they haven't lost a sibling, or they haven't experienced the loss of a loved one. So that's when something like the podcast, or finding Instagram pages and TikToks and all that is really helpful, because it validates your feelings.
Yeah, it does. And I think that that's just like part of human connection, in the meaning of we're all just like, oh, you understand me? Like you get that? Like, wow, like I thought I was the only one. I think we always just assume like we're the only one.
Right?
We
I'm
are the
not
saddest
crazy.
person.
I'm not
Yeah,
crazy for feeling this way. Okay.
right. And it's like, wow, like I had no idea that other people like truly understood this. And I've had people reach out and they're like, wow, like I grew up with a sick mom too. And it's just like, boom, like,
Those
and they
moments.
have similar feelings and fears, similar fears and things because of that too. Um, so yeah, my grief has made me, oh, My grief has really made me rethink my entire life and who I am. It's made me want to figure out who I am and decide who I am, because I do think it's, again, just like choosing to be positive is a choice. Like choosing who you want to be is a choice. I really always have thought like you're not tied down to whatever thought you had like last year or whatever. Like if you change your mind, it's because you're growing, you're evolving. And I think we should all try to do that. And that's something that I have really honed in on because my mom died. And I was just searching for answers. It's just like, well, what the fuck do I do now?
Yep.
Like, I have no idea. I can't tell you how many times I've sat like this, looking up and cursing at my parents, being like, what the fuck? Because, like, I just don't have the answers to everything. And not like they would either, but I know that they'd be able to, like, calm me down or something. But I don't know. Grief is so weird.
It is. It is.
It's so strange. Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I mean, I'm not, but yes, I'm ready.
I know. Do you think that the loss of your mother prepared you for your father's passing?
Yes. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because like, all right, I've already dealt with the death of one parent, so now I got another one that I gotta, bury and put in the ground. It was different because I think it, there's different kind of loss, as I had kind of alluded to before. My dad always used to say he's old and grumpy. You know that.
He was.
And he was a grump. And if I meet other people, like some people have a wicked soft spot for him, but like his name was Dick and he was a dick. I mean, but I love the shit out of him. And I know that even when he was like cancer ridden, if somebody like tried to hurt me, he would like try to like fist fight them like he was back in the 50s again, because that's legitimately like how he grew up and like that's how it was. So it was different for me because of the different, relationships. I think I was prepared too, because when my mom had died at that time, like my dad didn't have a pot to piss in for money. Okay. Again, all of the money went right to her medical bills and everything, which was just like obscene. That's like a whole other episode of my anger towards big pharma and all that stuff. But when she had passed, like they didn't do any planning. So, and it's funny too, because it's like we were always waiting for her to die.
I know.
Right? But we didn't have anything prepared for when she actually did die. So I remember I had finance issues of my own at the time. I had taken out a 401k loan, right? And then she had passed and all that stuff happened. And it was like after she died, I think it was like the day we were going to the cemetery to get the plot and everything with my dad. Like that money like cleared my account. It was like a sign to me. I'm like, oh my God, I have the funds. Like I can buy this plot. My dad's like, no, just get one. Just get one for mom. I'm like, well, what happens like when you die? Like, don't you want to be next to her? Or like what? Like, do you want to be cremated? What is the situation? We never talked about it. And he's like, oh no, I'm like, Dad, like, I forget what the difference was. Like a double plot to like a single.
Yeah.
It's like not a big difference. I'm like, Dad, like, I'm buying two. And if you decide that you don't want to be next to her, which I can't imagine, but like fine.
Come on.
Like you won't be, and so like I have the deed to like I bought it, and so like that was obviously taken care of when my dad passed, and like we knew what was going to happen essentially. I feel like I could go to a Driscoll funeral home in Bradford and just like, I don't know, snuggle up and just hang out, because I've there so much, so much grief and everything. But yeah, I guess it's like in terms of preparation, some, but each loss is different. And so I think that just kind of plays into that, if that answers your question.
That does. It does. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. No, you did good.
Okay.
All right. How about something a little lighter, my Cait?
I love that.
If you could relive one memory or one day that you had with your dad, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, my dad. Instantly what comes to mind is this turtle. This turtle story. Yeah, a turtle and a turtle story, but this is, this happened as an adult. This happened, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago now. I was sitting exactly where I am now. I was working, and I see my dad pull up, like right in front of the window here is like right in front of the street. And he pulled up in his typical fashion of like parking like half in the street and, like half, just like, he just like pulled in, was like, yeah, like that's just a great spot. I'm just not gonna straighten up or anything. I'm just gonna be crooked. And that's fine. Gets out of the car, he hobbles over because he had the stroke. So sometimes he had a cane and everything. And I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, listen, I need your help. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And I was all like, what? Like, yeah, like I'm your girl. What's going on? And he's like, there's a turtle down the street that needs help.
You like think something awful is happening. Somebody
And
else,
of course,
who
of
died.
course I think, yes. Yes, like the constant always thinking someone's dying. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what is it? And he's like, well, we have to go save this turtle. And I'm like, are you shitting me like right now? And a part of me, like, I get so mad at myself because I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like,
Yeah.
he was just trying to hang with you, and this ended up being a really good memory. But long story short, a few streets down, we go over, and there was this huge snapping turtle that was in the road, and according to my dad,
it was a
clearly
snapping
not.
turtle.
It was a snapper.
Too.
He was huge, like immense. And actually, it was a girl. He had told me. We named her Martha. Or I probably named her Martha. Anyways, we wrangled this turtle. He literally had this little flag stick. We got it into this like giant Tupperware tote that he just had in the back of his car or whatever. And he took the little flag and he was like snapping at it because they're so fast.
Yeah, they're scary. They can break a finger.
Oh my God, or take it off for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we kind of like played with it for a second. There were like some kids around and like they wanted to come see, and we ended up driving across town, like over the river and to this pond that he knows about. And he's like, this is a perfect place for her. And so I actually did record it too, like bits of it. That's another way that grief has changed me. I want to record everything.
Me too. I want to take pictures of everything.
Everything. Yeah. So
every voicemail I've seen, if I scroll through my phone, I have about 52 voicemails that my dad has left me, and I like will not delete any of them because I only have
that. I have a lot of my dad.
Yeah.
I don't have any of my mom.
I have 5 from my mom.
Isn't it funny? Like, the count. You're like, I just know it.
I have 5 of them. Yeah. Like, and they're not nice. It's not like they're like sweet, I love you voicemails, but it's
like, are you going to pick me up? Or
it's like Alyssa, I left the laundry for you. And like, I'd really appreciate it if you'd come take care of the cats. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, I will never, ever delete this voicemail ever,
Yeah. And I think it's those moments though, like those little everyday moments, like him randomly popping up to like go save a turtle, and he used to always call me too when the seasons would change, because after his stroke he had a hard time, like there's a screen in your door, and like you have to like push the little things on the side to like move it up and down. He couldn't do that. Like he couldn't coordinate his left hand to pinch it. So I was like the official screen up or downer person for him. Yeah. And he would call me, be like, the seasons are changing, Cait. Can you just take a swing by? I can't get the damn thing up,
Yeah.
I miss those little moments. And again, those moments used to irritate me because I'm a jerk. I don't know. And so, yeah, I guess it's like, little things of him would be doing silly things like that, or being outside. Like I remember going salamander hunting with him once too, over by like the John Greenleaf Whittier house or whatever it is, the birthplace. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
There's like a stream there, and I remember like going there, and he's like, lift up the rock, and there's all these like black salamanders and stuff. So yeah, if I could do anything with him again, I think it would be like something like outdoorsy, and just chilling.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
I love those memories. I love that you guys
too.
saved a turtle.
Yeah, good old Martha. Man, I hope she's still swimming around. I should go see if I can find her.
Um, all right. So what's next? Do we want to
Ooh,
do?
what is next?
I don't know.
You can do whatever you want. You can ask me.
Do we want to do a little Would You Rather Grief Edition?
Well,
I sang the song for you.
I know, that's exactly it. The song that like was not supposed to be a song is the song now. Let's play Would You Rather. The song we didn't want, guys, but I didn't want it, but now it's certainly stuck.
You started it. I
did. I started it, but like it was not intentional. But it is what it is. We're gonna play it. I'm excited to be on the other side of it.
I know, right?
Because I don't know what you're gonna ask me either.
All right. Would you rather have a kitchen full of I'm sorry for your loss flowers or wear your senior prom dress with the same hair and makeup to your next company event?
Ooh.
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have a kitchen full of I'm sorry for your loss flowers?
Okay.
Or wear your senior prom dress with the same hair and makeup to your next company event?
I think I'm gonna pick the senior dress. Yeah. And wow, that's so funny. Last night I was actually like at the same place where my prom was. Where my prom was. I think we had this conversation before. I've been to prom like every year of high school. Like I went to the senior prom, like for different years that weren't mine, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the junior and senior. A bit of a prom whore.
I know, same.
Not an actual one, but just the prom one.
Yep.
Making that distinction. My senior year, that dress Rachel made, it was, oh my God, it was like this peachy, like a peachy kind of pink. It was strapless and it had like gold, like gems along the top, but there was like a butterfly on it.
Oh.
That I had sewn in. There was like beads, there was flowers. I really liked that outfit.
You'll have to put a little, you'll have to show the people.
I will.
I'll put a little picture of you so they know what you're talking about.
You know what? And thinking about it too, like, okay, like would I rather have a kitchen full of flowers because somebody died?
I know.
Because that's what it's for. Or would I rather reenact that moment in time where everybody was still around, I guess?
I know, and happy.
In like a weird way, like that's where my brain's going. I'm like, so I think maybe I would do that. But to like a work thing, I don't know. I'm kind of weird, so I think they'd be like, yeah, that's just Cait.
They'd love it. They'd love it.
That's just her.
I know. I feel like the flowers.
What would you do? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I would do. I was just gonna say, like, I feel like the flowers are always hard, right? Because they're so beautiful, but then they die. And like people are so kind for giving them to you.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it does, like, I feel like at first it makes you like when you walk into your kitchen, you're like, wow, these people everyone was so thoughtful, but then they start dying and
you're like, oh yeah, that's right. The inevitable fate.
Right. You're like, oh yeah, my mom died and now I have a kitchen full of dead flowers.
Oh my God.
They start to stink. It's sad.
And I love the flowers too, though. Like I do.
I do
flowers.
too.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I know. But yeah.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I think for the purpose of this, would you rather? That is what I would pick.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Would you rather be the only one standing in the family condolence line at a funeral?
Oh, I'm already like, no.
Or relive physically giving birth again?
Ooh. Wow, those are good. Damn, Melissa.
Is that bad? I know.
Coming out of nowhere. Woo! No, it's not bad. That's good. Okay, say it again. Would I rather what?
Okay, be the only one standing in the family condolence line at a funeral.
Ugh.
Or relive physically giving birth again.
Oh my God. And it's like, which birth? I've had cesarean and I've had it the other way.
Oh God. I
Oh
don't
my
know. I don't
God.
have kids, so I don't know.
No, it's a really good one. And so along those lines of going back to like the grief and being afraid and stuff, like the podcast is like I'm pushing myself to do what's uncomfortable, like 1,000,000%. Doing things alone makes me uncomfortable, you know? So the idea of being like the only one there gives me the chills of like if I was the only person in the receiving line, I think I would probably just like also die myself. I don't know.
Oh my God. It
So
would be.
I think I'm gonna choose birth.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll pick the cesarean because I had that first and with Hope when that happened because she was breech little shit, tried to move her around but she didn't want to go. So yeah, I had to have a C-section because she was going to come out the wrong way. But after that I remember I like was like boop, like I was bopping around.
You
I
were
was really
feeling good.
unaffected, so I'm going to choose that specific one.
Wow.
I would rather
Wow.
do that than be alone. And that's how much, yeah, yeah.
I know. I
That's how
know. The
much I don't like that
condolence
stuff.
line is so, I know. It's awful. It's
And it's so
awful.
nice when you think of it. Like the condolence line is amazing. Like the fact that people come and they're like, I don't even know you, but I'm here because I knew your person. It's like out of this world, like heartwarming, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But I
And
would
when you
never want to
see
do that
certain
alone.
people,
Never.
you see certain people and you just like,
Or you lose it.
you lose it. You can't control yourself because it's just like I don't know. It's weird how certain people trigger you when you're in that line. But yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't want to be alone either. I haven't given birth, but I'm sure giving birth would probably be better than being alone in a condolence line.
I mean, I think it would be.
Yeah.
So how about that?
Well, there you go.
Oh my God, that's funny. Well, those were good ones. I suppose we should probably end on a grief win. And I'll go first this time. I think my grief win was meeting Sahara in Virginia Beach. I think that's a win
Absolutely.
because I think it's a win for the pod in this small little weird way. I think it's just something honestly related to grief that I felt like I was doing something like I was actually making an impact.
Yeah,
And that means
absolutely.
I think that so like I think mine was a little, I don't know, a little bit of a bigger one this time.
I
I don't know.
think that's huge. I think it's huge. I mean, those are feel good moments. I mean, this
It
is
really
why
was.
you're doing this,
It
to
was really cool.
connect with people and support people. And I mean, for somebody to recognize you or already be following you, I mean, that's why you're doing this.
I know, so
It
cool.
feels so good.
It feels so weird to be like, yeah, that was amazing because I feel like I'm like, am I being too like excited about this? But it really
No,
was really neat.
absolutely
I don't know.
not.
It was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very
Yeah.
cool.
Do you have any wins that you would like to share?
Griefy wins. Griefy wins.
Mm,
I didn't really think about this and prepare, but I will say that after filming our last episode, I did have a chance to sit down and talk to my dad
that's a
about
great
a lot. Yeah, about a lot of things. And just the podcast and kind of revisiting some grief. And I just wanted to make sure that he felt okay with me sharing these stories that are very
right.
personal to our family. And um I had nothing but support from him, which meant so much to me. And we did have some conversations that we hadn't had before. So I think that that's my grief win. I think kind of um revisiting grief and also having the opportunity to do it with my dad as well, I think has been a pretty big grief win after we released some of the podcast stuff on social media. So
Yeah. I love that you
yeah,
picked that because that makes perfect sense. And that is 1,000,000% a grief win.
yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah,
And
we're
it warms
healing
my heart.
together. Yeah, we're doing a little healing together, him and I, which
Yeah. Yeah.
feels good.
And our dads, if you didn't catch on, like our dads were really good friends, everybody too. So I just love that he's like, I don't know. I feel like my dad's cheering him on, who's cheering you on, who's
Oh,
cheering us on.
yeah.
I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
this big,
I mean, they were
this
the
big
best of
thing's going
friends.
on.
They were the best of friends. They did, I mean, they married sisters and, you know,
Yeah.
they both, you know, were in service together. My dad was Navy. Your dad was it
Army.
Army? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they were buddies. They were fishing
Yeah.
buddies and, you know, yeah.
I like
It's
that this is the
nice.
last thing we're talking
I
about today is
love
them.
it.
I
I
love
love
that. And
it.
their little friendship. Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, and they were
I
friends.
love
They
it.
really supported each other, and, you know, my dad always says, "Dick was one of the best friends I ever had," you know? So,
Oh, that's amazing. I'd love that. See, everybody, grief connects us, brings you together. Oh my God, it so does. But that's our show. That's our show, everybody. We flip the script, and if you have questions, if you want to know things, reach out to us. Ask us. We'll talk about it on the show for sure. And if today's episode moved you, then please share it. Share it with somebody. Share it with somebody who you think might want to hear it. But until next time, keep it griefy, and we'll talk to you soon.